Hello everyone, what is going on? In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing this bad boy, the Apple Watch Series 5. This one in specific is the 44mm with the gold stainless steel body and the gold Milanese loop. I'm going to break this video off into 4 different sections. So first, we will be going over the tech specs of the Apple Watch Series 5. Secondly, we'll be comparing the Series 5 to the Series 3 and the Series 4. Series 3 because that is what I have upgraded from, and Series 4 because it is last year's Apple Watch. Third, we will be going over the everyday practical use of the Apple Watch Series 5. And then lastly, I'm just gonna go over how it's more than just a smartwatch, how it does more than that to your life and as a watch. And then lastly, we'll just wrap it up and then talk about some cons, but that won't be too big of a section. So the Apple Watch Series 5 is Apple's newest, latest smartwatch as of 2019, and it comes in a variety of different options. So it comes in a 40 or a 44mm case size. It comes in aluminum, stainless steel, titanium, and ceramic, all of those in varying colors. You can get the aluminum in multiple colors, the stainless steel in multiple colors, the titanium in multiple colors, and the ceramic only in white. And then in terms of your band, you have almost any and everything you could think of. They have a sport loop, they have like a woven sport loop, they have like a silicone loop, they have a Milanese loop, they have a Hermes loop, they have a genuine Italian leather loop, they have a sort of pebbled leather loop, they have just a ton. If you go on Apple's website, you can spec out the Apple Watch almost to your exact specification. There has to be a watch for you because of the different options that there are. The Apple Watch Series 5 has 32 gigabytes of storage. It has an always-on display and an LTPO OLED display, which is basically a way of saying it can change the refresh rate. So if you're not really too technically inclined, what that means is if you have the watch like active and using it, it'll refresh the image 60 times per second, meaning it looks very smooth. But when you don't have the watch sort of on, it'll just dim and it'll only change the time or change the screen 1 time per second in order to conserve battery life. This has the newest S5 chipset, which I don't really know what that means. It just means it's the newest one and it's faster. The Series 5 also has a compass now, so if you're using maps or I guess maybe something else, I don't know, you can now see the direction you're facing, so cool. The Series 5 has an emergency SOS feature internationally, so no matter where you're at in the world, you should be able to get in touch with the emergency services in the event you need to. Originally, I had the black aluminum and black silicon loop Series 3 in the 42mm with the GPS and cellular variant. So moving up, I got the 44mm version, which is actually roughly the same size, and I got the stainless steel with the stainless steel loop. So the main reason why I moved up was because I wanted the always on display and also because I wanted the nice stainless steel and the better looking screen. So the Series 3 screen is very small. There's like bezels on the sides of it compared to the Series 4 and the Series 5 where it goes almost edge to edge, so it just looks a lot better. And then the Series 3 and the Series 4 do not have an always on display, so it's nice to have that for this watch so you don't have to like do the little whip flick as I called it in a previous video. But right now, like I can just glance and look at the time and not have to worry about doing like a little to get it to tell the time. And then also, I just wanted to get the stainless steel variant and a stainless steel loop instead of the aluminum and silicon because it just feels a lot nicer. And the loop doesn't have holes, so I can just use the magnetic strap to get it to fit exactly the way I want it. So those are the main things with the Series 3 versus the Series 5. With the Series 4 versus the Series 5, it's much more incremental. So the compass I mentioned earlier, that's not in the Series 4. 32 gigabytes of storage on the 5 versus the 4, and I believe the 4 has 16 gigabytes, so that's another item. The always on display is not on the Series 4, but it is here on the Series 5. And then I believe the last thing is the emergency SOS feature. But those are really it. Other than that, I'm pretty sure everything else is the same. With the Series 4, you couldn't get titanium or ceramic, so I guess that is a slight change. I don't expect anyone to refresh their watch every year. For me, I am planning on doing it every 2 or 3 years. Depending on how long this lasts me, this might last me until the next big visual refresh. But yeah, the Series 4 and the Series 5, in my opinion, is a very incremental upgrade. But for me, the Series 3 versus the Series 5, I feel like they were different enough for me to justify my change. Going on with how the Apple Watch affects my daily life, it just allows me to use my phone less. I genuinely am not on my phone as much as I used to be than when I got my first Apple Watch. Being able to check text messages and notifications are great. Now, I can't like fully read emails and I can't like easily send text messages, but being able to acknowledge that they are there or being able to ignore them is great. Like being able to check like on here, oh, I got an email about Google Nest. I don't care, I'm not gonna read it, but at least I know that I have an email and that it's there. I'm able to briefly see if something got graded for my Ohio State classes, or I'm able to see that I got a text message from my girlfriend. Being able to check your notifications and just see what you have on your phone is great because you get trapped in a loop when you're on your phone. You check your phone for notifications or to tell the time, all of a sudden you unlock your phone, all of a sudden you check up Instagram, and now you have wasted your time being on social media. If I wanna be on social media now, I'm more intent with it. I don't find myself just mindlessly, casually browsing social media because now I'm able to check what's most important on my watch. Secondly, this watch kind of helps motivate me to be more fit in life. If you have any Apple Watch, you do have these sort of 3-ring systems where you have like a move ring, you have a exercise ring, and you have a stand ring, and you set your own goals, or you can have it auto set goals for you, and it'll give you little reminders or nudges to do things. So it'll say like, hey, do a deep breathe, it'll help you clear your mind. Or, hey, stand up, it feels like you've been sitting. Or, hey, you're so close to reaching your exercise ring, push a little further. So when I see those things, sometimes I am motivated, but in other times it can be annoying where I'm in class and it's like, listen, this is a 2-hour lecture, I can't just randomly stand up to progress my stand ring. But being able to see those things, sometimes it helps. You know, like I have actually taken walks or I've exercised a little more just to help close those rings, because you can be competitive and share those with your friends or with other people, and it's just a sort of way to like flex and show off how active of a lifestyle you have. It's not like a really important feature as to why you should get an Apple Watch, but at least it's there, and it's something that I do see in my daily life. I do get these notifications and they affect me. So yeah, that's another thing about having an Apple Watch in general. So thirdly is just being able to exercise and listen to music or run without my phone. So like I said earlier, this has 32 gigabytes of storage, and you are able to download as many songs or podcasts as you'd like on here up until that storage fills out. So with my Bluetooth headphones, aka my AirPods, I'm able just to have my AirPods and my watch and listen to music and track my fitness. I don't need to have my phone in my pocket or have an armband with my phone. I'm able to just have those 2 items along with my clothes, of course, and I can go ahead and listen to music, or I can exercise at the gym, or I can run outside. So being able to have less technology and less wires is just very awesome and convenient, and that is mainly why I did get my Apple Watch Series 3 in the first place. So number 4 out of my like mental list of why the Apple Watch affects my daily life is the fact that it just works with the ecosystem. So being able to just unlock my MacBook with my watch is super cool and super convenient. And then being able to receive notifications on my watch from my iPhone or even my iPad is pretty cool. Everything just sort of communicates. Like I can connect my AirPods to my Apple Watch, I can connect my AirPods to my iPhone, I can connect it to my MacBook or to my iPad, just whatever it may be. The fact is, everything just works so seamlessly. It just feels very smooth and it feels like you just want to stay in a nice ecosystem. Another cool, subtle, not life-changing feature of having an Apple Watch is being able to see the date, time, and weather all in like sort of one go. So I can look down at my watch right now and see that it's 8:56 p.m. and that it's October 22nd and that it is a high of 64 and a low of 41, partly cloudy. So being able to just check that out and see real fast is pretty awesome. And like whenever I'm signing papers or have to like write an essay, I can just take a look and be like, okay, today is the 22nd or today is yada, yada, yada. So that's just another cool thing where it saves me from having to pull out my phone and check the calendar app or check the weather app. And then just being able to use it while driving is pretty convenient. It helps me stay a little more focused. So if I'm using Apple Maps, I know not everyone uses it, but if I'm using Apple Maps and I'm navigating, I can see the directions on my wrist. So if I have my hand like right at the top, I can drive and I can look at my notifications at the same time. I don't need to like look at my phone, or I don't need to like look sideways. I can just glance slightly down for a quick second, view my next direction, and be good with it. And one final thing is being able to confirm my identity on my Apple Watch. So Ohio State uses a system called Duo Push/Buckeye Pass to confirm my identity, and it's really annoying having to pull out my phone, so being able to log in using my watch is really convenient and awesome. So one, yes, this is a piece of technology and it's super cool, but it can also be super useless to some people. But this is a watch. Like, this does tell time.
This watch tells time.
So like, I don't need to pull my phone out. Like before smartphones were a thing, people had watches to tell time. And so that's still a thing. So I can still use this as a watch to tell time.
This watch tells time.
And then thirdly, it is also a fashion accessory. So some of you guys may not care as much, but because of how awesome of a smartwatch, piece of technology, watch, and fashion accessory this is, I unfortunately don't use any of my watches anymore, which is why I opted to get the gold stainless steel watch, because this is a great fashion accessory. So if that's something you care about, if you care about fashion, then you probably want to spec out your watch to look nice, because this is technology, this is a watch, and it's also a fashion accessory, and it tells time.
This watch tells time.
I don't know why I would keep wanting to say that, but there are more reasons to get an Apple Watch more than the fact that it is a piece of technology that you might deem useless. There's other uses for it beyond it just being a piece of technology. It can be a watch and it can be a fashion accessory if those are two things you prioritize or care about. Okay, so this is like category 4.5, which is like the general cons or concerns that people have. So people have wondered if the always on display drains the battery life. And for me personally, no. So even if I work out for 2.5 hours for the day, I still end the day with a strong 20 or so %. And so I've never been able to kill this in the last month that I've been using this Apple Watch Series 5. So I also think it depends on what face you use. So for me, I use a face that is black, so it's not white or it's not a color. And then it also doesn't show the second hand moving every time. So this face is able to save a lot of battery. So I think if you use a watch with a moving second hand or with a different colored background, that your mileage may vary. So for me personally, I noticed just as great battery life on this watch than I did with my old Series 3. And that is thanks to the LTPO OLED display that I talked about earlier. And then my only real con with this Apple Watch in specific is the fact that it's like super nice. So like this is the stainless steel version and this is like gold plated. So in theory, this can rub off and like turn silver. And so because of that, I'm really careful with how I put my hands. Like right now, if I was like on the ground or on the concrete, I'd be careful not to like get my watch on there or to scrape it. And also I used to swim with my Series 3 because it was just a black aluminum and a black silicon watch. But now I'm probably never going to take this swimming because this is just way too nice and I don't want to risk scratching it up and fading the gold on it. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this review. I hope that this was able to inform you guys on whether or not you should get an Apple Watch in general or the Apple Watch Series 5. I just want to go ahead and give my personal feedback on it since I didn't review my Series 3 and also just because I wanted to get my personal opinion out there. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. So if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. But otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.